From the conventional wisdom that red meat is bad for you, to vegans justifying their diet by any means necessary. It is no secret that fruits, vegetables, as well as grains are missing something key to human health. That being said, we have a list here of 13 nutrients that cannot be found from plant sources in red. In purple, those 7 nutrients are either unobtainable without modern supplements or just incredibly deficient on a vegan diet, regardless of what plant foods. And the roles that B12 plays in just about every aspect of human metabolism, when cholesterol is a component of every cell membrane in our body. The idea that our body makes all the cholesterol it needs is something I debunked in my video, Do Our Bodies Produce Enough Cholesterol? EPA, eicosapentaenoic acid, only found in animal foods, particularly fish, but brains and eggs as well, is another important component for cell membranes, but that hints at its main function as an inflammatory mediator. As with EPA, DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, is only found specifically in those animal foods. It's a key structural component in many tissues, especially the brain, that vegans will actually admit you need to supplement it. Up next is AA, arachidonic acid. It's an omega-6 fatty acid specific to animal foods that you don't really hear vegans mention. The human body cannot make this, and just like the human brain requires DHA, it also requires arachidonic acid. High cholesterol foods like eggs and fatty red meat tend to be the best sources. CLA, conjugated linoleic acid, yet another fatty acid specific to animal foods, has been linked to many beneficial things, including reversing fatty liver, stimulating weight loss, even regulating genes. The best sources of CLA are high-quality, raw, grass-fed dairy, as well as meat. Vitamin D3, definitely another popular one. Certain animal foods do contain reasonable levels of it. Plant foods only contain the D2 form that humans cannot use. Again, majority of vitamin D3 has to come from the sun. That's the only way you can obtain the proper amount for human health. But seeing as vitamin D is a hormone and hormones require cholesterol for synthesis, a vegan diet lacking cholesterol and these other fatty acids is a quick way to lose your ability to properly metabolize this nutrient. Heme iron is a tricky one. Most people do have inactive iron stores in their liver. People just aren't getting enough of the nutrients they need to metabolize iron, such as copper. Although many vegans are deficient in iron, and they probably truly are, it's more of a concern many months to years down the line of following a vegan diet, and probably more of a concern in females than males. Creatine is something that you don't really hear vegans mention unless there's some juice head monkey vegan bodybuilder 100% natural soy protein shakes. But creatine is something humans naturally obtain from meat, fish. It's an amino acid. Supplements will typically give the user an athletic boost, a strength boost, whatever they're seeking. Carnitine is one of the amino acids specific to meat that plays a critical role in energy production. It transports fatty acids into cells so they can be used to produce energy. Very important in the context of a high-fat or ketogenic metabolism, and a reliable source is beef. Carnosine, another amino acid only found in animal products. Again, beef is a good source. It's concentrated in muscles, and as with most amino acids and B vitamins, plays a role in neurological function, memory, and prevents oxidative damage. Taurine, another big amino acid you guys have probably heard about, another one you don't hear vegans talking about. It's one of the amino acids needed to synthesize bile acids. Plays a role in antioxidant activity, cell membranes, cardiovascular function. The list goes on and on and on. There is a slew of amino acids that aren't typically obtained from plants that we didn't mention, but vegans will seethe at the mouth to point out that soy, certain legumes might contain those amino acids. You can safely say that 99% of vegans aren't getting enough of those amino acids despite all the soy, tofu, bullcrap they eat. Choline is another one. It appears that the form of choline found in plant foods like kale or something ridiculous is not adequate, including many activities in the nervous system. Coenzyme Q10, similar to choline in the sense that it mainly comes from meat and fish, but some vegan will tell you to take a few tablespoons of soybean oil. You have to eat 90% of your calories from soy to get adequate amounts. Various B vitamins are also deficient on a vegan diet, not just vitamin B12. B3 and the correct form of B9, phosphatidylserine, is a fatty acid that is really only found in animal foods, and we could have lumped this in with phytanic acid and those hundreds of other unknown fatty acids. The final two nutrients on this list are calcium and zinc. And despite the paper value of these minerals being decent on a vegan diet, it appears that the anti-nutrient content of the foods that typically contain calcium and zinc, the phytic acid, the phytates, the oxalic acid, the oxalates, prevents the absorption, and combined with a lack of cofactor nutrients, perhaps magnesium or vitamin K2, tends to be the most deficient for most vegans from a mineral perspective.